Hello everyone, welcome back to my math channel. This is Algebra 2, Chapter 1, Lesson number 2, Solving Linear Inequalities. Inequalities, let's begin by the properties. First, addition property of inequality. For any real numbers a, b and c, if a is greater than b, then a plus c will be greater than b plus c. Means you can add the same amount to both sides and still the left hand side is bigger than the right hand side. If a is smaller than b, then a plus c will be smaller than b plus c. Means you can add the same amount to both sides and still the left hand side will be smaller than the right hand side. For subtraction, for any real numbers a, b and c, if a is greater than b and we need to subtract the same amount c from both sides, it's allowed. So you can say a minus c greater than b minus c. Also, if a is smaller than b and you want to subtract the same amount from both sides, so it will be a minus c smaller than b minus c. So summary of what we are taking here of properties of addition and subtraction: you can add or subtract the same amount from both sides in inequalities, whether it's greater than, smaller than, greater than or equal, smaller than or equal, and so on. Now let's solve this inequality. 4y minus 3 smaller than 5y plus 2. Graph the solution set on a number line. This is the original inequality, and of course we need to get y's together and numbers together. So you can subtract 4y from both sides to cancel this 4y. So this will be negative 3 smaller than 5y minus 4y will give you y. Still we have here positive 2. So we can subtract 2 from both sides for y to be alone. So negative 3 minus 2 will give you negative 5. Means negative 5 is smaller than y, or you can say y is greater than negative 5. So the same, negative 5 smaller than y can be written as y bigger than or greater than negative 5. So the answer, any real number greater than negative 5 can be considered as a solution of this inequality. Now let's graph. We make a circle, means that this point is not included in the solution set, is open circle, is not shaded circle. It's an open circle because we need any real number greater than negative 5, but not negative 5 itself. And bigger than, we are going to make an arrow to the right and we shade, so this will be the graph. Another way to express the solution set in this problem, you can say opened at negative 5 going to infinity. The open interval from negative 5 to infinity means all real numbers bigger than negative 5. Now another problem: 6x minus 2 smaller than 5x plus 7. Pause the video, try to solve, and then you will discover the solution will be, yes, it's supposed to be 8. Let me show you how. We have here the original inequality, 6x minus 2 smaller than 5x plus 7. Now I need to get x's alone and numbers alone, so I will take 5x to the other side in negative, and I will take negative 2 to the other side in positive. So this will be 6x minus 5x is smaller than 7 plus 2. Now we all know that 6x minus 5x is 1x, means x, and still smaller than 7 plus 2, which is 9. X smaller than 9 means we start at 9 with open circle going to the left. Going to the left for negative infinity. So we can say that the solution set as an interval notation is from the smallest number to the biggest number. It's opened at negative infinity till we reach 9 opened. And the graph, as you can see, just the accurate choice is A. Now, properties of multiplication and division. In multiplication, if A is greater than B or A is smaller than B, and we need to multiply a positive number, it's allowed. Multiply a positive number for the two sides, and still the sign didn't change. Bigger than stays bigger than, smaller than stays smaller than. But if A is bigger than B or A is smaller than B, and we need to multiply negative amount, negative number, you can notice that direction will change. Means greater than will be smaller than will be bigger than in the case of multiplying negative number. The same will happen in division. If we are going to divide by a positive number, direction of inequality stays the same, whether it's bigger than, stays bigger than, smaller than, stays smaller than. But when we are dividing by a negative number, also direction of inequality changes. If it's bigger than, will be smaller than. If it's smaller than, will be bigger than. So, summary of what is happening: while multiplying or dividing by a positive number, direction of inequality stays the same. While multiplying or dividing by a negative number, direction of inequality changes. Put this information in mind, because sometimes we need to divide by a negative number or multiply by a negative number, so we will change direction of inequality. Example 2. Solve the linear inequality 12 greater than or equal negative 0.3 p. Means we need p alone. Graph the solution set on the number line. Now this is the original inequality, and we know that this number, which is negative 0.3, is multiplied by p. So to get rid of multiplied number, we need to divide. So we will divide both sides by negative 0.3, and you can notice that direction of inequality changes. It was greater than or equal, it becomes smaller than or equal now, following the rule. Multiplying or dividing by a negative number, direction of inequality changes. Now this amount got cancelled, so p becomes alone, and 12 divided by negative 0.3, it's negative 40. So negative 40 is smaller than or equal to p, or we can say p is greater than or equal negative 40. So the solution set is p such that, the sign means such that, p such that p is greater than or equal to negative 40. We can also write it as an interval notation. So bigger than or equal negative 40 means starting at negative 40, and negative 40 is closed. This edged bracket means closed at negative 40 till we reach infinity opened. And also the graph will be a dot, a closed dot. It's not a circle anymore. It's closed dot, as you can see. To refer that negative 40, it has or equal sign, means negative 40 itself is included, and we make an arrow to the right to denote that bigger than negative 40. So a dot means that this point is included in the solution set. Now, this is your turn to solve. What is the solution to negative 3x greater than or equal to 21? Is it A, B, C, or D? Of course, the answer will be B, and let me show you why. This is the original inequality. Negative 3x is bigger than or equal to 21. Now I need to divide both sides by negative 3, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. So this becomes x. Direction of inequality changes, smaller than or equal to negative 7. So now you start exactly at negative 7 with closed dot, moving to the left because x is smaller than. This also can be written as from negative infinity till we reach negative 7 closed. So the accurate choice is B. Another example. Solve negative x greater than x minus 7 over 2. Graph the solution set on a number line. This is the original inequality. And of course we need to get rid of this number. This number is divided number, so we can multiply to the other side. So it will be negative 2x greater than x minus 7, multiply each side by 2. That's why this 2 is disappeared, because it is multiplied by the other side. Now we can get x's together by taking this x to the other side in negative. So it will be like this, negative 2x minus x still bigger than negative 7. That's why negative 2x minus x becomes negative 3x, bigger than negative 7. Now we need to divide both sides by negative 3. So if we divide here over negative 3 over negative 3, this negative will disappear and direction of inequality changes, as you can see. And negative 7 over negative 3 is positive 7 over 3, because negative divided by negative is positive. So this is the solution. We can say that solution set is x such that x smaller than 7 over 3, or we can say from negative infinity till we reach 7 over 3 opened. Also we can graph it this way, just to locate 7 over 3. Of course 7 over 3, it lies between 2 and 3. Why is that? Because 2 is like 6 over 3, and this 3 is like 9 over 3. So 7 over 3 lies between 6 over 3 and 9 over 3, which is 2 and 3. Or simply you can graph it this way, just make a number line and locate point anywhere, 7 over 3. Don't put numbering here, just move to the left because smaller than, and shade all these numbers till you reach negative infinity. This is also an accurate graph. So from negative infinity till we reach 7 over 3, this is the solution. Now this is your turn to solve. Pause the video and try to solve. and make an accurate choice, whether it's A, B, C, or D, and you will find it yes, B. Let me show you how. The original inequality, it's negative 2x greater than x plus 5 over 3. Now I will take this number multiplied by the other side, multiplication. So this will be negative 6x greater than x plus 5. I will take this x to the left hand side in negative, so it's negative 6x negative x or minus x will be bigger than 5. Now negative 6x minus x will be negative 7x, still bigger than 5. Now I must divide by negative 7, divide by negative 7. Don't forget to change direction of inequality. So x will be smaller than 5 over negative 7 means negative 5 over 7. Smaller than negative 5 over 7 means we start at negative 5 over 7, opened circle going to the left. That's why the accurate choice is B. And of course it's open circle because we don't have here or equal sign. Now, real world example. Jafir has at most $15. At most means smaller than or equal, because this is the maximum. This is the maximum he has. So if this is the maximum, we can use smaller than or equal. So at most is smaller than or equal. And also if you face the word at least will be bigger than or equal, because at least means this is the minimum he has. So maybe it's this amount or bigger. So at most smaller than or equal, at least bigger than or equal. Now Jafir has at most $15 to spend today. He buys a bag of pretzels and a bottle of juice for $2.59. If gasoline at this store costs $3.39 per gallon, $3.39 per gallon means for every gallon. How many gallons? How many gallons? This is the question. How many gallons of gasoline to the nearest tenth of gallon can Jafir buy for his car? Of course, after cutting out the amount that he paid for the pretzels and a bottle of juice. So let's summarize the problem. Let G equal the number of gallons of gasoline that Jafir buys, and we need to find what is this G. The total cost of the gasoline will be 3.39 G, of course, the price of 1 gallon multiplied by the number of gallons, 3.39 G. The cost of the pretzels and juice plus the total cost of the gasoline, pretzels and juice and gasoline together must be less than or equal to $15, because this is the maximum amount he has. Now let's summarize the problem. How can we write it down as an inequality? So our plan to write the inequality: the cost of pretzels and juice, we know that it is $2.59, plus the cost of gasoline, it will be 3.39 G, means the price of 1 gallon multiplied by number of gallons, and all of this amount should be smaller than or equal to 15, because this is the total amount of money he has. He cannot spend more than 15 because he has only 15. So we can say smaller than or equal to 15. Now this is our inequality. We succeeded to form the inequality: 2.59 plus 3.39 G smaller than or equal to 15. Now it's easy to solve this one. If we subtract 2.59 from both sides, this got cancelled. So 3.39g will be smaller than or equal to 12.41. Now we need to divide by 3.39 for both sides. If you divide, this is gone, so g becomes alone now. G will be smaller than or equal to 3.66. So what does it mean? Jafir can buy up to 3.6 gallons of gasoline for his car. So of course 3.6, because you are not going to say please give me 3.66 gallons. No, 3.6 gallons of gasoline for his car. Now let's check. Since 12.41 divided by 3.39 is actually greater than 3.6, so Jafir will have enough money for if he gets no more than 3.6 gallons of gasoline. Now this is your turn to solve. Pause the video and try to choose the accurate choice, whether it's A, B, C or D. Jeb wants to rent a car for his vacation. Value Cars, it's a place renting cars. Value Cars rents cars for $25 per day plus $0.25 per mile. So $25 per day, this is the fixed amount you are going to pay whether you drive the car or you leave it in front of your home. You are going to pay $25 per day plus $0.25 per mile according to your usage. If you are using the car a lot, so you are going to pay a lot. You are going to use less, you are going to pay less. How far can he drive for one day if he wants to spend no more than $200? No more than means smaller than or equal. No more than $200 on car rental. So we have $25 is fixed. Let's say 25 plus 0.25 multiplied by the number of miles. All of this should be smaller than or equal to 200. Again, the $25 is the fixed amount he is going to pay plus $0.25 for every mile. So we multiply by the number of miles. All of this should be smaller than or equal to 200 because he wants to spend no more than $200. Now I will take 25 to the other side, so 0.25 m, the number of miles, will be smaller than or equal to 200 minus 25. So again 0.25 m will be smaller than or equal to 200 minus 25, 175. And now let's divide both sides by 0.25. So divide by 0.25, divide by 0.25, and m, so m will be smaller than or equal to 700. So the accurate choice will be, yes, it's A, up to 700 miles. M smaller than or equal to 700, so it means up to 700 miles. By this, my dear students, we come to the end of our lesson for today. Don't forget to practice some problems on the solving linear inequalities. And till we meet again in another video and a new lesson, goodbye.